Hello, everybody. It is Thursday, not Tuesday. Tuesday I was going to say go vote and stuff like that, but we've kind of passed that. Um, Hopefully there are no revolutions or no, civil wars in any cities that I've heard of. So hopefully we've gotten past the voting thing. Arizona, get your act together. In this day and age, I can't understand. Anyway, that's another topic. I did have a conversation with someone as far as, maybe we need to like, and this goes totally against privacy, but fingerprint. Um, and basically when you're born, you're fingerprinted, you're on a roll. When you're 18, it knows when you're 18, you go vote with your fingerprint, and that's that. It's just so, I don't know, convoluted and for America like we are, these stories shouldn't be happening. Um, so it definitely is a system that needs work. It's the best we got. Hopefully nobody's not too upset with the results. Um, and we'll just kind of go from there. Um, I do want to say happy Veterans Day for those of you that are veterans. That is tomorrow. It's funny because my 13-year-old daughter had a speech, probably a one-page speech and she had to speak in front of the entire school. And I swear, I swear, driving her to school this morning, I thought she was going to have a stroke, because she had to say armistice 4 or 5 times in the speech, and she kept either she'd get it wrong or she didn't know how to pronounce it, or is this right? And so yeah, so happy Veterans Day. I have twin sisters that are actually in the Air National Guard. So thank you for your service. Um, Look at Alan's background over there, sunny California. Got a little confused with the time zone thing. So it's still early for him. Um, so I'm gonna, and today and days past, I've thought of what is the purpose of this video, or what is the purpose of Alan and I meeting, publishing these videos. And I think the best thing that I can come up with is that I am the link between all of you members and Alan. Alan is super busy, never home, always on his phone and always traveling. Um, so, so, so we do the best we can, to kind of absorb Alan's knowledge. And like I said, I think I'm gonna think of myself as a conduit between the hundreds or thousands of members and Alan. So if you have anything, if you have questions, if you want to chat with Alan if in regards to anything, let me know. I'll try to bring them up, try to do the best that we can as far as discussing things. I know last week, Alan had posted about his lotto, X calls, which did incredibly well. We had another gap up this morning. Alan, yes, is still in rad. And maybe we'll take a look at that chart because they actually had a rough day a day or two ago. But I think they're recovering. We'll see where they go from there. Someone had asked about par earnings, which I'll show the chart for that as well. But a lot of you have said, what stocks are Alan playing? What does he have a list? Does he concentrate on a specific few stocks? And that got me thinking. And I know there's a way to do it. But what I want the 5-minute app to be able to do is to be able to select. I want to be able to have like not a list of stocks, but a list of groups of stocks. Like you could have an earnings list, like watch lists, basically. And one of those watch lists would be Alan's stocks. And what that watch list would do would be to go out, and this is getting a little technical, but go out to a place where Alan fills in his stocks and the 5-minute app basically pulls it in. Now, There's some dots to connect. We need to get Alan to enter these stocks, so that I have to figure out a way to do that, or the best way to do that. But at least if you have the 5-minute app, you'd be able to get his list of stocks, and it could change daily, basically. So that's my next project that I'm working on. Like I said, I have the concept down. I have the idea of how to do it, but some of the sticky points I need to figure out. And if anybody's interested, this is what it looks like. This is how I start. I basically write it, and this is what the screen looks like. I create a thing here, and I say, this is what it does. And this is this is basically the birthing process of any of these major updates. So I can't give you a time frame. I'm excited about it, because I think if you think of CNBC, the CNBC app, you can have different watch lists, and I think that's what I want this 5-minute app to do. So, like I said, let's talk about a couple stocks. Maybe Alan will kind of fill us in, but yeah, we did have a definite gap up this morning, CPI related, I believe. What I like to do on the daily is I like to draw lines and see, okay, where are we at? If you notice, we came down, we bounced, and then broke that support. Now, and here we approach that support. Now we kind of broke above it and held. And someone had asked if this is a fake rally, if this is a false breakout, if something is going to bring us down below this line. The one chatter that I've heard getting control of the House and Senate is the debt ceiling. I've heard that there are threats to not raise it, which, yeah, that's kind of a scary thing. But I've heard that's a possibility, and I don't know when that's coming. But that's what I am aware of. So we mentioned RAD. And RAD was, for most of you that got in it, RAD was pretty high. So here's the 5 level. RAD was close, just over 5.5, before it broke back down. And like I said, it's trying to gain that ground. There's a candlestick name, or a pattern name for these 2 candles, which, is it a bullish inside day? I don't know. Go look it up if you want. Last one is PAR, which a member and I were talking about earnings. The earnings app flagged puts because the November monthlies were loaded with puts. But they came back and said, well, look at all these calls in December. 2 things. We speculated, yes, they're probably going to drop in earnings, and maybe people and eventually recover. I don't think we expected a recovery the next day. But the second thing, and Alan mentioned this to me earlier, and he's mentioned it before, is that if there's not a clear signal, don't take the trade. You want everything to go in your favor. Last thing I'm going to ask, and I'm going to transition over to Alan because he posted this morning, and then I got a couple of texts, a couple of messages, is this text service, which I responded, I don't know anything about it. And I don't know if, Alan, does that jog your memory?
Yeah. There were several people that I was in on a text. We're going to get back to that one of these days. Right now we're focusing on the 5-minute app. And so at some point, I just been getting inundated with people that want to know what I'm trading. This week, I think I'm up 9,000. To me, it's not anything that major because it was all predictable. I use the 5 minute app religiously, but this week was a little different because it was news based. Now the thing is that I guess the thing is that you have to think about the way people think. You were going into the voting, and everybody is optimistic that the Republicans were going to take the House and the Senate, and that's just what the mood, the thought process is. Republicans mean good for business, good for stocks, probably get away from this silly 15% tax that they're putting on businesses or whatever. But the issue is it's good for business. So it's good for stocks, good for business. So the way the stocks work is that stocks work in terms of that what people think. So they thought the Republicans were going to take the Senate and the House. So I was long on everything. I mean, I could everything I could get my hands on. I was long oil. I was long U.S. Steel. I was long, everything. As soon as the results came out after the election, we were down 180 points. I knew that thing was going to drop 500-600 points because the thing is that it didn't go the way people thought. I said sell the news. I went ahead and I knew the one that was going to get hit the hardest was energy stocks like oil. I shorted ExxonMobil. I did it right at the 935 point. And so I went ahead and jumped on it because I wanted to see how the market was going to react. I took the 5 minute bar chart and then I went ahead and went very hard on the position. It was not a cheap position. I think it cost me $1,500 to get in, but the thing is, the payoff was huge, absolutely huge. It was actually a very good trade. Now the thing is that this is one of the things I really screwed up on because today I made somewhere around 4,000, and I really could have made 10, 15,000 today because the thing is that you could see that things were kind of switching over, that the Republicans actually might get, control of the Senate and the House. So what it is that I knew that there was an overreaction yesterday, and I knew things were going to go up. I planned on spending a lot of capital this morning to go long. I knew things were going to go huge. I was going to go in Visa was going to be my main play, which went up $7 to $9 today. I was going to go up Google. Google, the biggest increase it's ever had in the history that I've ever seen it play today. Huge increase today. The thing is I was going to be in Visa and Google calls. I am kicking myself in the butt. I didn't buy him yesterday, but I thought we were going to start down a little bit and then it was going to go ahead and spiral upward. In terms of Rite Aid, yes. I was so busy playing the puts and making a fortune yesterday as I was golfing here at this Indian Wells golf course that I thought that it was going to play out. I thought it was going to, I mean, I guess the thing is I was just seeing the dollar signs come in and how much I was making as I was golfing. I didn't even look at Rite Aid. It's the dumbest thing I ever did. I should have sold Rite Aid and opened. But Rite Aid's a funny thing because right now it's only traded in about a quarter because it had a reverse split 20 to 1. So the thing is that I was like I didn't even notice how much I lost on the Rite Aid's trade because I was making so much on the ExxonMobil. And the thing is I'm having fun. I'm playing golf. So the thing is that I wasn't really looking at my positions before I teed off. I got into the puts on ExxonMobil, Oxy, and the thing is that I just was like saying, "Wow, that's a pretty good amount today." And so, that's kind of what happened on that one. Where do I see the market going? What you're going to see is tomorrow. What should happen is that the DAX, the FTSE, and the Nikkei and the China stocks should all go ahead and go up a great amount to correlate with the U.S. markets. I think we're going to go ahead and open up 400 or 500 points up. I hope so because I got at least 5 to 10,000 shares on the long side tomorrow. I could be wrong, but we'll see what happens. Yeah, actually, it's 10,000 shares long, but we'll see. And then, and where do we go next week? I had no idea. I use
Yeah,
the 5 minute app usually. But the thing is when you have news, the news will trump the app. That's just the way it is. And we saw news. Now, let me talk a little bit about the trade that I went ahead and posted. Now, if you don't have the earnings app, you had a 30-to-1 ratio on a put play, which I went ahead and got, made a fortune on it. If you would have held it, because most people did that had that trade, then what happens is it's stock called PRGO. Um, and I don't even know what that stock does. I mean, it's a healthcare stock. I don't really care. The thing is that I'm looking anything that's a 30-to-1 in my favor, I'm in on it. I jumped in on it. Didn't cost a lot of money. And the thing is that you should have rang the cash register $5,000. So, yeah.
that was quite a drop. Yeah.
And it wasn't surprising because the thing is I was anticipating 3167 is the bottom number. It got down to 32. So, on PRGO. So,
Hmm. Yeah, interesting. Yeah,
um,
I wish I had more time, especially in the afternoons, to kind of keep posting those earnings app, screenshots. But the afternoon gets past me. I have to go get my son at 20 minutes before the market close. So I sit in my car and watch from my phone, so I can't really do as much. And remember, like I said, I have a Android phone that these apps are running on, and it does not have any cellular service. So I can't and maybe I could use my iPhone as a hotspot and connect to that way. But like I said, if I don't have Wi-Fi, I can't use those apps. So so yeah.
So next week, me and Brian are going to go ahead and be spending some time together, um, figuring out the markets. Go ahead and look at some ways to improve the app, improve some things on the trading front, and send Brian some questions. Anything you got, I'll go ahead and field the questions. We'll be together, staying in San Antonio next week, and going over ways to improve because it's all about you. We want to improve the app experience. We want to improve the earnings experience. I learned this about trading earnings. If you got a 20 to 30-to-1 odd, I was having a conversation with somebody yesterday, and they're like, "Well, how did you know?" I didn't know. The thing is that if somebody's going to spend that kind of money, $1.7 million on Pergo, the thing is they're going to manipulate it. They're going to force it. They know something. They're going to make it do what it's not. They're going to not lose $1 million on a trade because the thing is that they're doing it because they know the results. Now, Pergo to me was an interesting trade because I calculated there's no way it could went ahead and met its earnings. I don't even know where they got the anticipated number from. So to me, I wish I would have spent 10,000 on that trade. I'd be at probably 100 grand right now. But the thing is that I try to be careful on my trades. I try not to get greedy. I try to be disciplined. It's all about baby steps and big steps to
Well, and
win and go ahead and continue to.
yeah, and I was going to add that all these apps are doing are all when you're looking at option volume for earnings, it's just trying to get the odds in your favor. Nothing's a sure thing.
Yes.
Um, and if you don't have a significant advantage, it's okay to not to trade it. It's okay to sit on the sidelines because and this is one of my issues is I think I'm missing this opportunity. I'm missing this opportunity. I need to get into this. I need to trade this because there's an opportunity to make money. But you got to concentrate on the other side of it is that an opportunity to make money is also an opportunity to lose money. So if the odds aren't in your favor or if things aren't pointing in your direction, just sit on the sidelines. And that's the purpose of
And
these.
that's what options about. You're renting a stock and you're only looking for something in your favor. If it's not, stay out.
Right. Right. Yeah. So yeah,
Brian, I gotta get back to golfing here, so I'm gonna go ahead and let you go. We're gonna see each other in San Antonio next week.
so are we
So,
gonna
and we
chat
should have, well, yeah, let's go ahead and we'll talk on Tuesday.
talk on so we're gonna talk on Tuesday and then Alan and I are going down Thursday. So
Yeah,
spending the weekend in
we're
San.
gonna go ahead and over the weekend, we're gonna just have a sit down. Send Brian your questions. I will go ahead and answer them. We got a session plan that we're just gonna go ahead and blow this thing up and enjoy, and we're gonna have a great experience so that we can go ahead and help you to go ahead and make money on traded stocks and options.
Right, definitely. Well, have fun in California. Get used to
All
that
right.
early time zone. And everybody else, you know, if you need me, feel free to reach out. Like and subscribe this channel. I hope you guys have a great Friday, great Veterans Day, and we'll talk to you guys next week. Bye, everyone.
All right. Sounds good.